always there. There we go. All
There
right.
we
Well,
go.
if you are noticing a huge industry shift as an expert or creator, and you notice that how you are leveraging your content to grow your reach is radically changing. Look, the old model is shifting. We're moving away from chasing attention. We're no longer wanting to feed these algorithms. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like dancing on Instagram and, figuring out some clever way to hook people's attention. And I think all of this is in the hope that we're going to find the right people. Yes, there is a new growth model that is really worth spending our time and attention on. And this is about owning your audience, deepening trust and connection, and a place to turn your thought leadership into an ecosystem that can actually fuel your business. Welcome to Growth Fuel Live. I'm Melanie Benson. I'm the founder of the Unignorable Leader, Rising Tide Collective, and I'm also the host of the Top 1% podcast, Amplify Your Success. Shout out to all of our podcast listeners. So if you are listening on the podcast later, you can join us each week live here on Substack on the Growth Fuel channel. Now, I have to introduce you to somebody I'm so thrilled to be chatting with today, Philip Hofmacher. Now, he is the co-founder of Write, Build, Scale. It is the leading education platform for creators who want to grow and monetize on Substack. And together with his partners, Sinem Gunnell, I hope I'm saying their names right, and Jari Rumer, he's grown the Write Build Scale from 0 to 50,000 subscribers in less than 2 years. And they have 1,800 plus paid monthly paying members. Philip, I'm so excited to talk to you. And I got to give a little shout out to my friend who introduced me to your work, Natalie Ledwell. They've started the Joy Jolt, and I know she's in your program. And I just wanted to say this is the power of collaboration and connection as they led me to you. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm not sure if I ever had such an amazing introduction. Thank you so much for all of that. Thank you so much for letting me be here with you live on Substack and later on the podcast. All yours.
Yeah. Well, where are you joining us from today? I know you guys are a global company.
Yeah, we're kind of a global company. We are basically 3 people. I'm joining you from just a little bit outside of Vienna, Austria. Actually, in the room directly behind me, there's Sinem, my co-founder. She's also my wife. And then we have the lucky opportunity to have a third co-founder, which you already introduced, Jari Rumer. He's from the Netherlands. And the 3 of us are running Write, Build, Scale together.
Nice. I love it. I love that the world today can be accessed globally from platforms like Substack. Well, let's talk about Substack. And I was really genuinely curious why you guys decided to lean into Substack 2 years ago.
Absolutely. You need to understand a little bit of our background. So I'm the kind of person who always says I'm 100% unemployable. I had only one job in my life, other than some holiday internships that you need to do while you're in school here in Austria. But I've always known I want to build my own thing. I've become a digital entrepreneur about 11 years ago. Then I experimented lots with video courses and so on. And then I had the lucky opportunity at a startup event that I was hosting that I met Sinem. The cool thing is Sinem was also completely into entrepreneurship. So I think it took me longer for her to go on a date with me than it then took me for her to start a company with me. And we've been doing lots of these personal growth workshops in person. And when COVID hit, we knew we want to take this online. So we thought a lot about how can we do online workshops? How can we build an audience online? And that's how we discovered medium.com. And Sinem started writing on Medium, and one thing led to the other. And basically more and more people have been interested in us teaching them how to write on Medium, then how to improve their whatever productivity and so on. And the cool thing is we did this for 5 or 6 years, so we really got a good understanding of the online writing world. And then there was this friend of ours, Michael Simmons, big shout out to you, Michael. He said to us, guys, you need to get on Substack. And we are like, we don't have time, we don't want to. And Michael Simmons said, guys, we jump on a call, let's talk about it. And we jumped on a second call and on a third call. And it took him 3 calls to get us to register on Substack. And he's not really related with Substack or anything like that. He just wanted us to figure it out. And once we've been on the platform, it quickly hit us. It's an amazing platform, and it's also so powerful, because in order to make it on Substack, you need to have so many different skills. You need to be good at writing. You need to understand human psychology. You need to be able to build offers. You need to do marketing. You need to sell people. You need to focus on customer retention. You can do podcasts. You can do so many different things. And I think we joined the platform. We've always loved it. Then I think 2 months in, they introduced live streaming. I was always a big fan of live streaming. And suddenly it was like, yeah, this is our place. We love it here. We're for sure going to go all in on that.
I love that story so much because it's kinda I mean, I wasn't on Medium, but I mean, I've been in this business since 2000. I've been on pretty much every platform, and I've been podcasting since 2010, very early days. And when somebody said Substack, my friend Natalie, and then I saw a couple other of my creator friends going, Substack, Substack. And I'm like, no, not another platform. Like, I'm already in all of them. I don't need another place to feed the machine. And then a friend of mine gave me a little tour, and I went, wait a minute, there's something really special here. And my part of my value system is connection. Like, I am so deeply wired for connection, for community, for collaboration. I instantly saw the light bulbs of, oh, that's what's happening here. And it's just a radically different place. And so that's my take on it. But I'm curious, what do you see happening with Substack that makes it so different from other platforms, especially social media platforms? And why is it worth getting past some of that resistance and leaning into what's happening here?
How much time do I have to answer this? No.
Well, you can have the whole hour, but I suspect we should do this
Yeah.
shortly.
Okay. Awesome. I mean, the one thing that I love most about Substack is not what it can do for you, but what it is not. It is not like all the other social networks that are optimized for you to spend as much time as possible on the platform and to watch as many ads as possible. If I go to Instagram now, if I go to Facebook, for whatever reason that I end up on those platforms, I get so sick and tired of all those ads. I'm trying to search for something, and every second thing that I see is an advertising. It's horrible, it's frustrating, and it's ruining my mood. When I go back to Substack, I'm super happy because there are people that I know that I decide to follow, and this ad-free environment is just the first thing. The second thing is I spend a lot of time on Medium, as mentioned before. It was super hard there to connect with other people because you do not have the opportunity to send direct messages to people. On Substack, you can. You see someone, you read something, you send them a message saying, hey, it's awesome what you're doing. I love your podcast. I've listened to it. Can I also join your podcast? Or you reach out to me and say, hey, Philip, I need help with my Substack. Just send a message. I'm pretty sure you check all your DMs. I check my DMs. So that's a cool thing. And the most important thing is that it allows you to be independent. What do I mean by independent? Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, all those platforms, you are building followers. Followers are super nice. They see what you are posting until the platform changes the algorithm. Now, a lot of people will say, yeah, why should they do this? Look at Facebook, look at Instagram, look at X. All those platforms did this. On Substack, you do not become a follower, you become a subscriber. This means you get access to your subscribers' email addresses. If you're sick and tired of Substack, you take your subscribers, you export them, you move on to the next platform. Also, the payment for the paid subscriptions, it's handled through Stripe. It just makes you independent. And I strongly believe that this is Substack's unfair advantage compared to all the other platforms.
Well said. I love that. And I think the culture is different here. Would you agree? Like, it's just a very different culture. You mentioned reaching out in the DM. So I think many of us who are seen and visible in a lot of places, we tend to cringe when we get DMs because we know what's coming, right? It's not really a genuine connection, but in my experience, it's truly a genuine connection that happens in the DMs. And I think they're welcome here, where in a lot of other platforms, people are like, don't DM me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the cool thing about this is This can only happen because the Substack team is really doing a good job. Let me give you 2 examples. First of all, the amount of new features that they are shipping is absolutely crazy. In the last 2 years, we've seen so many updates. If you're a bestseller on Substack, you also get access to this product lab where you can test the new features. It's crazy what they are building. Email automations, those perks. Now they are working on a native advertising program for the newsletters, not for the platform. So they are really doing a lot of amazing things, and they ship those features quickly. And the second thing, and that's even more important, is they really care about their users. For example, 2 days ago, I got a message from someone saying, "Hey, Philip, I think someone created a fake account of yourself, basically just misspelled Philip, and it's inviting me to join my Telegram group whatsoever." When I checked the user profile, 2 hours after I got the message, the user was already deleted because someone reported it. They've seen that I am a bestseller and they got rid of the account. I have someone impersonating me on Instagram, and I think 2 years later, this account is still existing. And on Substack, it's gone within 2 hours. And that's necessary to create an environment where people feel safe and where people love to hang out.
I love that. Yeah, and I'm just learning more about the Substack team themselves and how responsive they are, and I love that example because, yes, I think we've all had that imposter, or the hack, that goes on and on and on, and we can't get resolved. I just wanna take a minute to give a shout out to those of us joining, or those of you guys joining live. I see quite a big, crew here today. Give us a little shout out in the comments and let us know if you've got a big question you want to make sure Philip and I tackle today. So yeah, thanks for the love, guys. I'm glad you're here. So I know there is a question on everybody's mind, and that is, you guys went from 2 years ago, starting
Mhm.
fresh, to 50,000 subscribers. And for those of you that are new to the Substack world, there's followers, there's free subscribers, and there's paid subscribers. So you have 50,000 free subscribers, and you're closing in on getting close to 2,000 paid subscribers as we go live today. Take us behind the scenes.
Mhm.
What are a couple of the key things we need to know about reaching that many of our ideal people on Substack?
Absolutely. So if anyone's really wants a deep dive on those things, take a look at our publication. Most of those articles where we document our journey are in depth. You can really read about them step by step. For example, we have a roadmap where we exactly explained what we did the first 2 months on Substack. And I just want to start there. We joined the platform. We spent the first week figuring out how the platform works. Cool thing is we are a team of 3 people. That's our first advantage. Second advantage, we have 2 typewriters and unfortunately 1 calculator in the team. Sinem and Yari are the typewriters. They have been top writers on Medium. They know how to write. I, on the other hand, am a numbers and business guy. I absolutely hate writing. So everything that I write, I need to have an AI help me, or I need to have Sinem to spell check certain things that I'm doing. That, on the other hand, was my huge advantage because right from the beginning, I started taking a look at how can I really learn this from scratch. And it helped me get a good understanding of what it takes to write successful content on Substack without having any pre-experience. And that's what then allowed me to pass this on to other people. In general, there are so many things you can do right or wrong in order to grow an audience on Substack. The most important thing is you always need to think long term. Right from the beginning, we said we're not aiming for 100 paid subscribers or 1,000 paid subscribers. We want 10,000 of paid subscribers because we want to have a huge impact. That's important because if you know where you want to go or that you have big goals, you will make big moves. Then, for example, we invest a lot of time trying to build personal relationships with people. So everyone that subscribes to our publication, I send them a standardized message saying hi and their name, asking them why they are subscribing, what they want to build. Then I enter into conversations. Some of those conversations lead to paid subscribers. Some of those conversations lead nowhere. Some of those lead to one-on-one coaching clients. The important thing is I care about who's subscribing to us and have a really good understanding what people want just by talking to them. And that allows us to create exactly that kind of content. Another thing is we're living in the age of AI where almost everything you do can be faked by an AI. You can say, I can create an account on Substack with an AI image and post AI texts and even upload AI videos of my avatar doing crazy things speaking. It's not really easy to trust someone like that. But the one thing you cannot do right now is live streaming. I love doing live streams. I go live at least 2 to 3 times a week because I want to connect with my audience. I want to give them the feeling that I'm not perfect, that I sometimes miss my words, that I sometimes struggle with the questions. And this is like super important. And in addition to that, there are a couple of growth strategies that I can also go into if you're interested in that.
Oh, absolutely. I have a feeling that everyone listening in now and later is going to be like, yes, Philip, let's talk about the growth. But I just want to acknowledge something that you said for a minute, and that was the personalization.
Mhm.
And I think this in everybody's like speed to scale mentality, we forget like it's the personal connection that builds the trust and that keeps that connectivity. Now, I've only been here for 6 weeks, maybe 7 now. And I'm very blessed. Like I was telling you as we came into it, I've already hit 57 or 67. I can't remember what it is now. One of the two on the rising in business. And I have had full retention. Like nobody's jumped on and left. That
Mhm.
doesn't happen on my email subscriber list. People jump on and they leave, and that doesn't happen here, and I think that's one of the things that's, like, there's this level of connectivity and personalization that you're, leading us in and embodying, and I think that's a good thing to remember here. This is not the post and dash world, this is the connection world.
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. You need to build connections and you really need to care about people. That's the biggest opportunity you have on Substack. So right from the beginning, we tried to build community around what we are doing. So for example, in the first weeks when we launched the paid subscription, it was at the beginning of September, we started something and we called it Substack September. We said the entire month we are helping people grow on Substack, and we brought in everyone that we somehow knew in the online writing world, trying them to get on Substack, because our goal was two things. First of all, get lots of people excited about Substack, because we knew if they're excited about Substack, they act as multipliers for us. Second of all, we wanted to become a bestseller. So we tried whatever we could to have this 4-day window to get to the first 100 paying subscribers. So we launched Substack September, like a campaign where we really said, like, almost every day we are helping you with your Substack. And we did tons and tons of free work in the beginning. For example, I remember we created a posting where we said, share a link to your publication and we will provide you with 3 actionable tips how you can improve your publication. And then for an entire day, Yara and myself have been dividing the subscribers, going through them, looking at their profiles and saying, hey, you're missing the hero post. Hey, you do not have this or that on your about page. So it was a lot of manual work. I'm not the biggest fan of hustling, of like working 80 hours a week. But I have to say, at the beginning, no matter if it's a startup, if it's a business, or if it's a Substack, you need to be willing to do the extra work. You need to go the extra mile, that once you have a solid foundation in place, you can reap the rewards. And the longer you're willing to go the extra mile, the faster the results will be later on.
Yeah, that's well said. Okay, you dropped a little seed of there's a couple growth things we could do.
Mhm.
Let's get into them. I want to hear, and
Awesome.
I know our
One
audience does.
one thing that works amazingly on Substack is what we call the skyscraper article. So, for example, if you always create articles that provide so much value to your subscribers, like an 8-minute article, I would invite you to once a quarter, once half a year, or once a year, go the extra mile and invest 5 extra time into an article like this and really build something big and amazing. For example, when we've been 1 year on Substack, we created an article where we said 365 lessons we learned on the first 365 days on Substack. And this article completely blew up. It went viral and we got like lots of attention on it, so that we even paired it with a promotion saying, hey, this is our 1-year birthday. The first 10 people can become an annual subscriber for $1. The next 10 people can have it for $10. The next can have it for $20 and so on. And we had like, I think, tiers up until there was only a 20% discount on the normal annual rate, and they all booked out super quickly because people valued that we've created this long piece of article that was really something that you cannot read in once, but that you save, that you share. And yeah, lots and lots of people restack that. That really helped a lot.
I love that. Skyscraper article.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Okay. Is there a second one you want to cover?
Yeah, sure. So that helps you with getting reach, with reaching lots of new subscribers. Then you can also think about what can you do to get someone to become a paid subscriber. The most important thing with the paid subscription is what not to do. Oftentimes, people on our coaching calls ask us, hey, I post already 2 articles a week. Do I need to post a third one as a paid subscription, or can I just make one of those and paid post? And that's like completely the wrong question. Because the last thing that I want when I become a paid subscriber of your publication is more emails or more content. What the people really want is more transformation, faster results, overcoming their objectives, premium access, something like this. So I really invite everyone to build a kick-ass paid subscription. Really think about, how can I go the extra mile? What are the things that I can provide to my subscribers? So for example, when you subscribe to Write, Build, Scale, you are not only getting more content, you are also getting a Notion database with things that we use every single day ourselves. You're getting bestseller interviews. You get access to behind the scenes and so much more. We really turned this into an offer stack where we said, like, it's absolutely crazy to give this away for $100 a year. But we do this because the paid tier is just an arm race of us to figure out who are the people that are really into what we are doing, who are the people that want to become long-lasting super fans, that hopefully stick with us for 5 years or until the point where they reached all their business goals, or that want to work one-on-one or inside our group coaching programs with us.
You just said something I think's really great distinction, like to remember the real point of your paid subscribers. And I want to get a little bit deeper into paid subscribers in a minute. But the way I'm experiencing Substack is paid subscribers are, like you said, they're raising their hand and they're saying, "Hey, I really like what you're about." Now, some people they're investing because they just want to support your work. Like I think there's that mentality here. But what we're noticing is that this is a way of people saying, I'm really interested in what you're doing and I'd like a little bit more. And those are the people that oftentimes become even bigger clients down the road. So it's a top of funnel opportunity.
Absolutely. I've been invited to the Teachable Mastermind last week in Rome, and I've hosted an entire workshop on that where 6 and 7 figure content creators wanted to learn how we've added Substack to our funnel to generate new leads and how they can do that as well. And I've titled the entire presentation that the majority of people is using Substack the wrong way because they're only optimizing for paid subscriptions. What we are doing is we're using Substack to build trust at scale to then promote our own products.
I love that. Oh, I love that so much. And I think you can do any of it, right? Like Substack, like you said, like we're independent. We can do this is our platform. We can own it. And there's so much opportunity here to recalibrate how we bond and connect and attract people that could benefit from other parts of our work. So that's a great example of it. Can we just talk for a minute a little bit more about paid subscribers? One of the things that I hear people talking about a lot in the different groups and my client base is saying, so how do we know when we should start introducing a paid tier on Substack versus just focusing on free? And I know there's a lot of schools of thought. I'm curious yours.
Yeah, that's a really good question. This is also something where sometimes Sinem, Yari, and myself have different opinions on, because I always love to say it really depends on the overall strategy. It does not make sense for me when someone gives generic advice like, once you have 527 subscribers, you need to turn on paid, because it completely doesn't matter. Lots of our clients want to get a bestseller as quickly as possible, that they have the bestseller badge, that they can become a thought leader, so that they can then funnel people into their coaching, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of other people want to first get to 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 free subscribers before they launch their paid tier, because it really depends on what you add to your paid tier. I'll give you an example. If all you do with your paid tier is post a second article, then it's totally fine to turn it on right from day one. On the other hand, if your goal is with the paid tier to meet once a week with your people and run a Q&A session, I would turn on paid at the moment where I know I can at least get 20, 30 or 40 people inside my paid tier. Otherwise, you might end up doing a Q&A session for one person, which is awesome for the person. But what does it mean for your trust? Because whenever something's sold out, people love it. That's why the iPhone is always launching that well. But on the other hand, if there's like more, or there's like no demand for what you're doing, it's not really helping your brand. So to really sum this up, it completely depends on what you want to do. But no matter if you launch it from day one or from day 100, I want to invite everyone to start thinking about their paid tier from the first day, to really survey your audience, get an understanding what they want. Oftentimes people ask me, what should I include to my paid tier? And I can always let them know, this is what I've seen, this is what I would do. But use this as an idea and ask your target audience. They will tell you what you should include in it. No coach can tell you this. The coach can point you to the right direction, but you need to talk to your audience, because your audience is different than mine, than everyone else's. It's always unique, and you need to build for them.
Well, that's really great marketing advice in general, right? It's like so many times we build the thing in our head that we think people want, and they're like, wow, nobody's buying it. And just
Absolutely.
asking your audience is so profoundly simple and yet overlooked. So, well, let's talk a little bit more about some of the ways that we attract people into our Substack. They've introduced notes over the last few months. I don't know when exactly, because they were there when I came on, but notes seems to be one of the things that really helps reach more people. What are your thoughts on strategically using notes? Not just because I see a lot of people kind of doing a life dump in the notes versus being strategic. So what's your take on it?
I don't know when exactly the Substack team has launched Notes, but Notes have already been available when I joined the platform 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I think it's at least around for 2.5 years. What they did add, like I think 2 months ago, is the opportunity to schedule your notes. Before that, you needed to do this with an external software, like WriteStack, for example. But the strategic part about Notes is the following. Think of Notes or let's reframe. Let's say Substack is a little planet, okay? And on this planet, everyone builds their little publications, which are the little towns. And inside our towns, there are cool things happening. There is an event, and the events are obviously the posts that you're creating in your publication. Now you also want to attract people to those articles. The people that live in the town will see them, explore them, and go there anyway. But what about the people that live outside of your city? That's other notes. Those are like those little things outside of your city, and it's like always like this sign or this post saying, head into that direction, check this out, look what's happening there. And that's exactly what notes are. Those are like little pointers that send people to your profile, to your publication, so that they can experience more with you. I don't think that notes are a great opportunity to really win superfans, but notes are an amazing opportunity to get awareness of what you're doing. And they are also great for people not to forget you while you're posting, because the internet is very busy. Substack is very busy. If you publish only once a week, chances are very high that when someone misses 1 or 2 of your posts, that they've completely forgotten about you. But if I read your post and I love it, and then every day I see some of your notes, and you're basically talking about the same things, or you're building your personal brand, you're building trust with me, then you have a high chance that I become a super fan.
All right. Well, I see we have quite a few questions coming in.
Mhm.
So in the future, just so you all know, here on the Growth Fuel live experience, we'll be keeping those questions for our paid subscribers. But for now, we're keeping it open, because really, this is such an important topic. This is such a rich opportunity. I really wanted to make this available to everybody today. And Philip, I appreciate your generosity and sharing so much. You mentioned something earlier about strategy. And
Mhm.
I'm very intentional and strategic in my business. I always have been. It's kind of like I can integrate my woo and my softer side with strategy. And people are always like, how do you think like that? I don't know. It's how my brain's wired. But I know this is one of the things that makes the difference between kind of playing and being a lurker here on Substack and being able to build something meaningful. You guys do this. This is part of your business. And there's other people that teach Substack. What
Mhm.
makes what you guys do so distinct and such a you have an edge in the marketplace on your
Mhm.
coaching?
Great question, but also hard for me to address because usually that's something you need to ask my clients. But I can just point out what I think makes us different. I've mentioned in the beginning that Substack is a very complicated platform, that you need to have all those different skill sets. If you ask me if I would be able to teach someone how to build a successful Substack and a digital business on top of that alone, my honest answer would be no, I cannot do this. I don't think there are a lot of people that are expert writers, expert marketers, expert salesmen, expert product builders, and so on. So that's why I'm in this lucky position that right from the beginning we said we do not create three different publications. We build one business together, the three of us. I have Sinem, who's awesome at writing, at organizing, at strategizing. Yari, who's an amazing coach, a productivity genius, and myself, who loves to talk about digital businesses, think about funnels and those things. And we said the three of us will team up and we are going to do nothing else in our work life than building our own Substack and helping our clients. And I think we really found a nice way so that we can really say, and our clients always call us this, like their chief Substack officer. We help them figure out Substack so that our clients don't need to think about an algorithm or what to put on a page or how to start collaborations. I want my clients to create the biggest impact that they can because they do really cool things. And the only way for me to enable them to do this is by taking the boring Substack stuff off their shoulders so that they have as much time as possible for their content, for their clients, for the transformation that they provide for others. I think this makes us quite unique because I have not yet seen anyone else as a team of people arguing or even taking this full time. And in addition to that, I don't think you will find someone who's teaching you about Substack who has grown faster than we are. So we love to walk the talk.
Yeah, and I think you're basically making the case for focus. Like when you're all in on something and you're like, this is what I'm known for, it multiplies and compounds exponentially. Like people know why this is what I teach, right? It's like be known for something, and that's what you all have done, which is so beautiful. Okay, I know you guys have so many questions. I'm so glad you're here bringing them all in. Um, Philip, could you take a minute and tell people if they're ready to get started and they want to go deeper with learning from you, besides subscribing here on Substack, is there another resource you'd like to share with our community?
Absolutely. I mean, the easiest way is always to send me a DM on Substack because we have so many different offers. We have a $20 notes template all the way up to $20,000 consulting for companies. The one thing that I want to point out is something that we launched recently. It's called substackcoaching.com. Just take a look at it. Or you can also take a look at our Substack starter kit, which is a free resource. Take a look at whatever you want, or Google white belt skill. You will find lots of those things. And as mentioned, my DMs are always open for you.
That's so good. I love that. And for those of you listening later and you're like, wait, where's the link? How do I get there? I happen to have a resource link, writebuildscale.com/starter kit is where you could go if you're not on Substack and you'd like to dig a little deeper with them. Okay, so I want to highly recommend you guys follow, subscribe, and if you're really feeling like this is now the time, I cannot recommend a better company to learn Substack with. So jump into that paid tier with them. You're welcome. Are you open to taking a couple questions before we wrap up?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll cover as many as we can. And while you're here, I also just want to make an invitation. Let's stay connected too. I'm so glad you're here today. We are covering all things visibility, collaboration, and how to really distinguish why you over everyone else as an unignorable expert in your field. Let's make sure we're staying connected here on the Growth Fuel channel and Coach Melanie Benson. So do that little thing and subscribe before you go today. And also, please, if you loved this and got a lot of value out of this, let's give Philip and the Right Build Scale team a lot of love. Restack it, share it, give this some big multiplication growth opportunity. Let's show Philip how much we appreciate his time and give it some love. So let me go back and pick up a few of the questions. Josh was at, wait. Josh said, I feel like launching 3 to 5 newsletters because I'm interested in so many things. What would you suggest about multiple publications?
Absolutely, great question. I would ask myself first, do I want to treat Substack as a hobby, as a creative writing outlet, or as a business? This then really depends on it. If you want to treat it as a business, I would always say you need to have one main publication that you focus on. That being said, you mentioned multiple topics. Maybe you can combine those topics. For example, then you would build the publication around getting someone from point A to point B. So let's say I'm super passionate about helping creators. I can write about Substack. I can write about how to find their target niche, but I can also talk about how exercising twice a week or 7 times a week for whatever amount you agree on, that this will help you make a better entrepreneur, or how healthier eating makes someone a better entrepreneur. So if you cannot decide on a topic, maybe you can decide on a transformation that you want to provide. Other than that, whenever you have multiple publications, it's a little bit tricky because you can only have one main publication, meaning that when you click subscribe at someone's notes, you will not subscribe to all their publication, but like to one publication. The one thing that I always recommend our clients is to choose one topic or transformation, create your publication on this. This should really be the thing that you're most passionate about, that you want to turn into a business, and everything else, keep it for your notes. For example, I love running. I would love to document all of my runs in an own publication, but I'm not doing this. I sometimes talk about them in notes. I have my publication. This is business related. Notes I use for people to connect with me. If someone's a runner, chances are very high that they will connect with me more than with anyone else because I talk about those things. If someone hates running, I don't think that they will ignore my advice. So I strongly believe that when you share personal things, you have more upside than downside.
Yeah, well said. And I know a lot of people are multi-passionate, but just remember, if you're on the business side of things, you want to get known for the thing. And when you
Yeah.
have lots of things, it gets a lot harder to be discoverable and recognized for your
Uh,
expertise.
I mean, I'm super passionate about running long distances, ultra running, but I'm passionate about it. I don't want to turn it into a business. So I need to focus on my business, that I make enough money, that I have a lot of free time to go for 8-hour runs.
Yeah, well said. Okay, Tracy's asking, and I want to give a little shout out to somebody who shared the link to Philip's profile in the chat. You guys are great. Tracy's asking, I don't quite understand how the profile name links to the publication. That was a little tricky for me at first too. I was like, okay, we are in a completely new universe on Substack. There's a lot of things that are a little mysterious at first, which is why having training helps shorten the learning curve. But Philip, do you have a quick how to dissect that?
Absolutely. So on Substack, when you register, you create an account. The account is what you log in with, and this account can then have multiple publications. The easiest way to understand is to compare it with Facebook. On Facebook, you create your user account, and this user then can have multiple fan pages. The users are the same on both platforms, and what's the fan page on Facebook is the publication on Substack.
Hmm. I got one more here from Valerie, and I think we kind of tackled this a little bit, but I think there's a unique angle in this. Is she said, I've seen specialists with complex topics succeed by deliberately going deeper versus broader. And to me, this is one of the attractive things about Substack is that it rewards depth. But she's asking, is it a disadvantage to go into the depth, which moves the growth slower, or is it a competitive advantage?
It once again depends on what kind of business you want to build. I give you a real life example. Recently, we've been in contact with people that also build digital businesses at this mastermind in Rome. For example, if I would charge or if I would teach someone to build an entire landing page for their business, I would only be able to charge them a couple hundreds of $1,000s. But on the other hand, if someone teaches you specific copywriting for landing pages, it's like just a tiny subset of this entire landing page building process. They will be able to charge you so much more money because they are really going deep. They are really specializing. And that's like super, super interesting. So I would always start in a super tiny niche. become an expert there, and then expand from there. For example, when we started years ago on medium.com, we focused on helping people that already write on Medium make more money on the platform. From there, we expanded to Write, Build, Scale, to helping people write online, build audiences, and scale their income. We started in a tiny niche and expanded from there. And this was exactly what worked for us, because you always want to be a thought leader. You always want to be the best one at what you're doing. And if this means that you need to become I don't know, a pickleball coach for left-handed people under 1 meter 60, something like this, then that's where you need to start.
I love that. Well said. And you guys are just bringing the best questions. Thank you so much for throwing them in the chat. And I scanned through. Hopefully, I got all of the big questions. There's so much opportunity here. And Philip has covered some really powerful insights. And I highly recommend, again, that you guys check out Philip and the Write, Build, Scale team. They're so awesome. They do publish so much amazing tips on their channel. And if you want to go deeper and you want to shorten time, one of my favorite approaches to succeeding in business is to stop trying to figure things out on your own and invest in shortening the learning curve, because that is how you move and you like really get a competitive advantage, is be the person who's there first and be the person they remember. So Philip, thank you so much for joining today. I know you've got a big game to get to. Do you have any one last thought that we maybe didn't dig into, or last insight that you'd like to leave our community with today?
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. I not only love how you framed all of these sessions and questions, but also how interactive your community here was on Substack. And I absolutely love that. As for the last thing that I want to give everyone away, think about Substack as an opportunity that you can either take or don't take. But please don't come running to me or to you or to anyone else 3 years from now when it's a major platform. It's not yet LinkedIn. It's not yet Instagram. Maybe it will never be. And that's a good thing, because Substack is different. It allows you to build an independent platform. And if you want to take a look at the numbers, traffic is up, it's growing like crazy, and it really has cool network effects. So here in Austria, for example, majority of creators have no idea what Substack is. I bet you all that 2 years from now, this will be different. And 2 years from now, those people that have started today or that have taken Substack seriously today will have a huge advantage.
Love it. Thank you. Well, I want to give a shout out to all 115 of you that have joined in live today. And for all of you listening later, come join us in Substack. I'm Coach Melanie Benson on Substack. You can find Philip in the show notes wherever we are. We'll make sure he's linked up. Or do you want to give a little shout out to your Write, Build, Scale platform as well?
Absolutely. So if you're on Substack, go to Write, Build, Scale. And yeah, you will find us there. You can just type it into Google. You might end up on one of our YouTube videos or direct on our publication. I don't really mind if you check us out on YouTube or on Substack, but if you're serious about Substack or if you have any questions, my DMs are always open. I respond to all of them. Might take me a day or two, but if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'll be back next week with another Growth Fuel Live. Mark your calendar and we will see you then. Bye, everybody. Bye, Philip.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.